time for our first interview for the day. In studio, I have Hugo, an artist. I don't want to class him and put him in a category and say he's a painter, he's a what. You're just an artist. Is that a nice way to put it?
Yeah, artist is
Come closer to the mic. Come closer to the mic.
Yes, I could say artist is the best one to put it as. Nothing too specific.
Yeah, because what's crazy about art is you can be a painter. At the same time, you end up designing a car, designing what? Because you are creative. You know, your mind goes to another level. So, Hugo Kanyingu, where are you from, man?
So, I'm originally from the DRC, and I migrated to South Africa in 2007, about the age of 4 years old, with my sister and an uncle of mine.
Damn, so you have vivid memories when it comes to home, like DRC.
Yes, very vivid. I only have one remembrance of an occasion when I was in Johannesburg on the way to Cape Town, where I stayed at somebody's house. And it's quite a vivid memory, but yeah, not much memory of my hometown.
And obviously, you're keeping home within South Africa through your art, you know, making sure that you're drafting down or reading more regarding what's happening back home. Are you doing that, though, via art?
Yes, definitely. I tend to read a lot about my country and study the things that happened in the past as well as now, and I always articulate it through my art. That's why most of my paintings and other depictions are on the things that happened in Congo, whether it's illegal mining or the issues that were faced in the past, like Leopold II and all the massacres that happened.
It's crazy. It's scary to a point where we're still in 2022, but... things like that are still happening in Congo, you know, illegal mining, child labor, soldiers. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're not going to dwell more on those negative energy. Coming back to you though, how did you even start it? Seeing like, you know what? I'm a creative. Actually, every human being on the planet is a creative, especially if they tap into what they want to do. So for you, when did you start seeing like, oh, okay, oh snap, I can do this?
So this basically started at the age of 10, but around the time I was 8 years old, I was enrolled in an art healing program with a German lady who took me through the course of an art healing program. And as I got through this program, I realized this is something I could actually do. I enjoyed painting, working with clay, and many other things. And I started to get a liking for it, and I realized this is something I can do because I have a talent and it's something I want to give to the world and share my life story through my depictions of painting, writing, and also drawing, even sculpting to a further point.
Nice, man. And then are you in a point where you're doing it professionally, or you still learning how to do it professionally?
So you could say at this point I'm doing it professionally and as an independent artist, having exhibitions yearly. I recall the first exhibition I had around the age of 12 years old, which was very...
12?
Yes.
Damn!
Very shocking to many people, seeing as I was a 12-year-old having exhibitions. But since then, I've had the ambition of just getting my story out there and trying to get in as many shows as possible, like the past weekend, which was quite hectic, having 2 exhibitions and having to do interviews as well as other press releases.
I'm loving it. Do you have a team?
Yes, so there's a company I run called Exhibit Co, and I work alongside 3 people. And Exhibit Co is a company that was founded to challenge the status quo about art and exhibitions, trying to make it available to everybody, and also having the artists at the exhibition explaining their work rather than having somebody who is an art guide not knowing what the actual work is about.
Okay, so, if you have just joined us now, we're speaking to Hugo Kanyingu, who's a painter all the way from Muizenberg. That's where he stays. So I want to know, though, how do you balance the two? You know, because with the system, which is the system that is dying out now, it says go to school, study something, go to work, get married, have a big house, which is most of the time those things never really happen, you know. But now with the new generation, guys like you are doing many things in one time. How do you balance the two? Because you'll find that with the kids, you know, when they have parents, a child will say, Mom, I'm a producer. And the parent will be like, no, school first. Not knowing that these days you can't do one thing. You have to do many things as possible. So for you, how did you balance with the school, and also how did you manage to convince your parents that, okay, you know what, I'll do many things at one time?
So technically with this, how I balance my time is I'd have my study sessions in the morning and get that out of the way and focus my art and whatever meetings I need to attend just to get investors for the company, because I do believe I have a story to tell to the world. And my artwork is something I take very seriously because I have a skill and a talent, and it's something I want to pursue as a career, because I don't believe I was given this talent for the sake of just doing it as a hobby. I feel that there's more to it, that I could heal the minds and hearts of other people and also create awareness around the issues that people are facing in my home country.
The crazy part is you were 12, you're already doing exhibition. What life were you living? Were you not playing with other kids, man? Was it a boring life, or what was happening? Or what is boring anyway?
No.
Because I would say it's boring to sit on your own, but it's actually stress-free. You don't talking to anyone. But how were you managing all this to a point where I'm actually enjoying being by myself?
So technically with this, I had a distinguished time for everything. I'm very technical. So I have time for my personal development, my reading, and also time to play. So as a kid, I tended to play outside quite a lot, and I would do my paintings in the evenings. But just to get a bit of time for everything, because I do believe I'm more creative when I'm alone and I can actually think about my compositions and connect with myself on a deeper level.
I'm loving it. Anyway, if you have just tuned in now, we're speaking to Hugo Kanyingu, a teenager, a painter, balancing the schoolwork and also with his painting, and also he's been doing exhibitions since he was 12. You've been grinding. You grinding.
Yes, sir.
I don't even want to touch on money, how much you make, because obviously paintings are expensive. And also remember, you who's listening now, who's young, I know that a lot of young people are writing exams. Some are home, maybe you're listening in your car, wherever. You can do whatever you want if you put your mind into it, if you discipline, and also if you try and make your parents or your elders to understand your vision. Did you have to do that for yourself, like where you have to make your parents understand that, Mom, you've lived your life, Dad, you've lived your life. This is my journey. Please allow me to live my life the way I want to.
No, that's something I'm still working on, just trying to make my parents understand that there is a company I'm working on and something I want to develop, because I do believe we've been given our own thoughts and our minds to develop our own lives. And in this world, I do believe you can become whoever you want, and it's possible just through believing in yourself, having somebody to guide you through your journey, and just knowing what it is that you want and being specific. As for me, I've been very specific. I know what it is I want. I know I need to get around, all the things that I need to do. And it's something I've become obsessed with, because it's something I want to develop and get to that worldwide stage where I can actually tell my story to the wide majority and let them know that there's more to life and there's more to art than just the depictions that you see. It's actually a larger story behind everything.
Okay, coming back to your art, what kind of an art you do, though? There's a lot of different arts out there, or different styles of art. What kind of an art you do?
So I've dabbled with many different mediums, but the one I'm currently working on, which is my favorite, is acrylic on canvas. And I usually do my work on canvas that are not stretched and try to see how I can do it. But I don't really plan it. I just go with the flow, but I try to get the element and make something that's thought-provoking to people, because I like having questions and people getting different emotions. And I recall on the exhibition I had on Saturday, a particular woman came and she viewed my show. She got into tears when I told her the whole story. And to me, I realized that there's way more to art than just the depiction. The raw emotion that I put into everything is something I want people to understand, that this is not just art, it's something I want to sell, but it's a story that needs to be told, and people throughout history will realize, okay, that these things are happening, and we need to create some kind of awareness around all of these issues.
And also with art, you can preserve history, through art, and also to a point where you can provoke thoughts,
Yes.
Obviously with languages different, the way we write them, but with an art, you can speak to anyone. You look at Egypt, pyramids are being painted there. Some of those paintings, we don't understand it. So now, obviously, on the 29th, you had an exhibition. What's next?
So currently I'm working on another exhibition for the December month, which I'm still crafting. And I currently have a group exhibition with Madlozi Art Gallery that took place at the art fair on Saturday, which was quite busy. So I have a viewing over there, and the show that I'm planning with my team, is going to be based on another solo show, just to get more creative and find a way of getting it to the wider majority of people to see.
So busy. How old are you?
So I recently turned 19 last week, Monday.
19?
Yes, sir.
Damn, man. 19 and you're making your own money. Okay. But it's all about money, because we're thinking of grinding all the time, doing all those things, but you can actually do it. How would you advise, though, another 19-year-old who's listening now, even younger, or even older, who knows, advice in terms of how to maneuver in this planet? Because, for example, COVID-19 came, a lot of people were disconnected, young people were looking for jobs, they couldn't get hired because some of these companies had to say, you know what, we have to let go some of the stuff. But you managed to maneuver, create your art, selling it more, make more money during the COVID. How would you advise another young person who's listening now in terms of how to maneuver in this so-called new world we're in now?
So in the new world, I do believe that skills are what pays the bills, and you need to find a skill that's valuable to other people. And there was one saying that got me to this stage I am. It was, how big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? And I took that to heart, because now if you take failure as just a learning curve, you get to experience more and you find a way through everything. So my advice to somebody younger, older than I am, just be specific on what you want and be relentless on your pursuit, because you'll be encountering lots of failures, lots of miscarriages. But the point is, as long as you can stay long enough on your journey, you will definitely make it some way or another, and always have some kind of support. And if you know that some people won't support your dream, just keep it to yourself and keep on working on it, even though they don't see it. It's your idea. You were given the idea. That's why we have an imagination to think about these things, and the ideas that we get from a higher being. So always think about your ideas and try to perfect it for you, because you see it, you have the imagination, and you have the power to bring it to life.
And read, because you read.
No, definitely. Reading
information.
Yes. They say that knowledge is power, but I do believe that organized knowledge is where the power is. So if you want to develop a skill in something, read on the topic that you're studying. As for me, I read lots of books about art and personal development, and that has helped me speak more to people and open myself up, and I have the courage to approach people and tell them about my work, and also investing in my company, because I do believe if you have the right network, anything's achievable. They do say it's not about what you know, but more about who you know. And I do believe that plays a huge role in my part as an artist, getting around the world and also getting my story out there.
And education expire, apparently. There's new system all the time. You can't just say, I have grade 12, at least I know. The grade 12 that you did in 2003 is different in 2022. So you have to read all the time. Interesting, man. I'm loving it. So obviously with your team, good luck, and good luck with your hustle. That's why we called you in studio to ask you, how are you doing this? We want the formula. We want the information. We live in a time of information. If you have less information, you won't be able to survive during this time of COVID-19. So if people want to get a hold of you, obviously want to see your work, want to follow you, how can they do it?
So I have an Instagram page, so they can find me at hugo.fruity on Instagram, or they could visit my company page called The Exhibit Co. Or otherwise, they could just find me on my website, which I'll be launching within the next few days, at hugokanyingu.com, where I have all my artwork as well as information of my past exhibitions and also upcoming shows.
Okay. So now this has been a while. We've been doing this on the show. So we have, we will actually, with the guest, we'll say to the guest, please play a game with us. The game is called How Well Do You Know Cape Town? I want to know, though, how well do you know Cape Town?
I think I know Cape Town well enough, so yeah, we can play this game and let's see what I know.
Are you sure?
Yes, very sure.
Okay. The listener can also play with us. Okay, so what's going to happen is we ask you specific questions regarding Cape Town or some of the events that are happening in Cape Town, and then if you get it right, we applaud you.
Yes.
we become super happy. This is the sound that will say you got the answer right. So, which means you're killing it, you're doing it. And then if it's wrong, And also, I'll be counting down, 10 seconds. That will be the 10 seconds that will be counting down. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this.
Hey, yes, you're tuning into 89.5.
Am I gonna find out how well we know? How well do you know?
It's Radio 89.5. I love this station.
We have Hugo. Hugo's gonna play, is a painter, is an artist, gonna play us with us. How well do you know Cape Town? He's so nervous. I can hear his breathing. So the first question. Okay, when was the last time you were at the CBD, Cape Town?
Actually, on Saturday.
Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, CBD, Cape Town, at Grand Parade, there's a huge fencing there. You know, if you see there's even like a grandstand. I want to know what is happening there. What event is that at Grand Parade that's going to be there? I think it's going to start either tomorrow or it's starting today. What is that event for?
I think that event is the Cape Town Art Festival, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's my answer for now.
Nope. That is the international volleyball.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be held at the Grand Parade. Just in case you didn't know, there will be a huge event that's going to be held there. Okay, let me go easy on you. Let me go easy since you stay in Muizenberg. So South Africa, as they're calling it, the tip of Africa, we have 2 oceans where they meet.
Yes.
And I want to know the name of the place. What is it called where there's a 2 ocean meet?
The Cape Point.
Are you sure?
From what I think it is the Cape Point where the 2 oceans collide, and there is a.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Last one. Who is the mayor? No, actually, the mayor is difficult. Who is the premier of the Western Cape?
Western Cape Premier. I am not a politician, so I don't think I have an answer for that. I'll call a null and void for that one.
Okay. Alan Windy is the premier of the Western Cape. But anyway, thank you very much for playing with us. With us, we are always going to applaud you. Don't worry. Always going to applaud you. And also, Hugo, obviously, the year is almost ending. What is the main things that you felt like, you know what, I've achieved in 2022 and I'm looking forward to continue next year?
So the main things I feel that I've achieved were exceeding the number of exhibitions I planned to have, because I only planned to have 2 exhibitions and I was bombarded, and then I had 2 on the same day as well as 1 early in the year, and also the launch of my company, which was very exciting. So those are the achievements I have.
19-year-old!
And a few more that are still coming at the end of the year after I finish writing my matric finals.
Nice, man. Anyway, okay. I think we had text, somebody was also already answering the questions. Anselin, I was saying number 1, volleyball, number 2, Cape Agalas, which was, you also said, Cape Point. Alan Windy, that's where he answered. He seems like, you know what, like, probably saying I would have killed it.
He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
Thank you very much for coming through. And last question, in South Africa, we've been having, actually the whole continent will be having these differences. When it comes to, no, you're from this country, from that country. Xenophobia has been one of the hard-hitting things. Where do you see the continent, the future of the continent? As a young person, as a creative, as a futuristic, you're the future of the continent. Where do you feel like these differences are going to emerge one day to a point where it becomes one, we understand each other? Or do you feel like, hey, we're separating each other again and again and again?
At the current moment, I feel like that they're very separated. And in terms of xenophobia, it's something I also have experienced arriving as a 4-year-old, not knowing where I am, not learning the language. But in terms of this, I do feel that once people do come together and realize we're all one continent, we're all African, things would flow a bit more easier. So it's all a matter of them realizing that we are one. And if that happens, we will become a more powerful continent. There wouldn't be any kind of hatred, no such thing as xenophobia or discrimination. So it's all about keeping an open mind and helping one another out, because we're all one in the end, and we cannot live as though we're separated, because we are all one continent, we're all Africans, and we need to realize that to a point of coming together and just creating a better future for our young ones, and also a better future in terms of getting around the world. And seeing as Europe is one front, we also need to become one front and become a united Africa, just as there is a united kingdom.
I'm loving it. Okay, lastly, before I let you go, if people want to get a hold of you again, how can they do it?
So they can get a hold of me via my Instagram page at hugo.fruity, all in small letters, or at my company page on Instagram at The Exhibit Co.
Again, the details?
And the details are hugo.fruity, that's for my Instagram. And for my company Instagram, it's The Exhibit Co. And also for my website, it's Hugo Kanyingu, which I'll be launching within a week's time.
And also, if Hugo can do it, he's only 19, you can do it too. Thank you very much for coming through, man.
Oh, man, thanks for having me
And
here.
also, thank you for the positive